Spider-Man Last Hunt premieres on January 29th only on LewisFilms. You can watch the official trailer in the description below. In today's video, we're going to be talking about 5 ways in which they can make the map better and bigger in Marvel's Spider-Man 2. Let's talk about it. But before we do get into that, if you are new around here, make sure to hit that subscribe button to not miss any types of Spider-Man content. That includes all the gaming, fanfictions, and all the news about all of the movies as well. But with that being said, let's get straight into it. Number 5, an actual way to visit Rikers Island. So if you do remember, in Marvel Spider-Man 1, there was actually a way to get to Rikers Island. However, this was a glitch. I actually did make a video about this quite a while ago. In fact, you can go check it out if you do want. However, this was only a glitch. And yes, you can visit Rikers Island in a mission that you do in Spider-Man PS4, which is where all the villains break out of Rikers, causing the formation of the Sinister Six. Now, if this was to happen, this wouldn't be just somewhere that you could swing to or anything like that. I imagine this would probably be like a different section of the map. So you'd probably click, like, I don't know, you click X to travel there, and then it would come up with a loading screen of like 5 to 10 seconds, and then you'd load in at Rikers Island, because it's quite far away out of the way of the map from New York. But there could be little Easter eggs in there to Kingpin and other villains that Spider-Man has locked up, and it could add a little bit more of the lore and the backstory to the Spider-Man PS4 universe. And heck, we could even get a side mission that you have to do once you complete the main story of the game at Rikers Island. Number 4, the addition of Queens. Now, we know after the end of Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales, we know that Peter Parker is actually clearing stuff out of Aunt May's house, and we know that he's probably going to move in there by the next game as well. So what cool way to have another part of the map added into the game other than Queens? And I think this would be a really cool idea, because then again, like I did say, it'd be a cool little place to go to and visit and explore, because we've had the same map for 2 games now, and all they'd really have to do to the main map is just retexture some things and get some things up to date. But apart from that, there's nothing really new being added to the map, and with obviously Peter and MJ potentially moving in there by the second game, what better way than to include Queens into the game? Number 3, underground accessibility. Now, one thing the older Spider-Man games actually had, and that Spider-Man PS4 didn't really have much of, was underground accessibility. Yes, you can take the subway to travel from one part of the map to the other part if you can't be bothered to swing and take the time to travel yourself. However, what would actually be cool is if you could actually access the underground by yourself, and you could travel between the subways, and you could go underneath the city through train lines and stuff, kind of how you do in GTA. Now, if you guys have played GTA 5, you'll know that you can go all under and everything as well, which is really cool, and that's something that this map could add to make it feel a little bit more lively. Number 2, more accessibility to buildings. Now, I think this is probably a bigger one than either of the 3 that I've just listed. Yeah, it'd be cool to go to Queens and Rikers Island, and it'd be cool to go underground. However, I think one thing that would make the map feel more alive than ever, without actually adding a new bit on the side or doing stuff underground, is to have the accessibility of different buildings. And yes, this kind of ties into what I was saying about Rikers. However, that's kind of a whole different section of the map. What I mean is there could just be random buildings like a coffee shop, or it could be MJ's apartment, or it could be a different apartment, or it could be Oscorp, or it could be anything that you can just go in and just explore in free roam as Peter Parker, or it could be the Daily Bugle or something like that, because that would be really, really cool to have in this game, and it would add a lot more depth and a lot more liveliness to this game. And that's something that I would rather see than most things, to be honest, on this list, just because of how much more livelier it would actually make the world feel. Because when you're swinging around these buildings, it would actually feel like something is going on. There are people living their day-to-day lives inside of these buildings, doing their jobs, you know, living their lives. And obviously it wouldn't be every single building, because that would be impossible, but maybe just 5, 6, 7, maybe even 10 buildings that we could actually go inside and explore. And yeah, it would probably be the more significant landmarks of a Spider-Man game, like your Oscorps, your Daily Bugles, a local coffee shop, maybe apartments and stuff like that of the main characters. But if you know what I mean, it would add that extra depth to the game. Number 1, now this is something that has to do with the main plot of the story, and something that I've been longing to see since the Web of Shadows game. I would love to see Symbiote City. Now, yes, some people are against this, but some people are for this, and this perfectly fits the trend of what Insomniac has done before. Therefore, I put it in number 1, not just because I think it would be really cool, but I think it's probably the most likely option out of all of these to happen. So if you haven't noticed, they normally start out with the normal city, and then something happens, and then they kind of get a rundown city. That was what happened in the first game, because you went from the demons being out and about and just different criminal groups, to then when the Sinister Six broke out and the whole virus thing was happening, and Doc Ock got out, and the Sinister Six was about the city was run down, you know, there was riots going on, there was criminals everywhere, the Sable outposts, everything was going on. In Miles Morales, it was more like the whole game, because obviously it was snowing everywhere and it was winter, so we had that winter aesthetic. So in this game, we could probably start out a little bit normal, maybe recovering from the winter, and then we go straight to Symbiote City, which could be the big city change towards the end of the game. Now, a lot of people are saying that they wouldn't like this just because obviously it's the same city, we're playing through the same map for 3 games now. However, I think this would be a really cool way to spice it up, and I'd love Symbiote City in this game. Now, once again, like I did say, I think this is probably the most likely option out of the 5. However, once again, it does depend what route they actually take Venom down, if they're going to have him be like a Symbiote City where a symbiote can go everywhere, or if the symbiote's just going to contain to one person, which we'll just have to see when the game comes out, what route they go down. However, with that being said, those are my 5 things to spice up the map for Spider-Man PS4. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to like on it, make sure to subscribe if you want to for all types of Spider-Man content, including gaming, fan fictions, news theories, and everything on all of the games and all the movies. Also, make sure to tell me in the comment section down below what you'd like to see added to the map in this game. Spider-Man Last Hunt premieres on January 29th, only on LewisFilms, so make sure to book it off your calendars. I am really proud of that project. I cannot wait for all of you to see it. With that being said, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care, and peace.